If anybody's ever played the game Boggle, you think you had a really good round because you come up with a lot of words, and then what you do after that is you start comparing. You have to cross out all the stuff that everybody got to before you, right? So that's what I've been doing as I've been sitting down, crossing through all the great stuff that I wanted to talk about. I don't want to repeat what everybody else has said. That's one of the nice things about going last. I can sort of take what's left, and I know you all are anxious because you've been sitting here for a long time to ask your questions. So one thing that nobody else has talked about yet, one of our successes during the session was SOL reform. For those of you like me that have young kids in school, they're going to be taught to the test a lot less now. We're down to 2 SOLs per year during their early years. My third grader was ecstatic. It was all worth all the campaigning, all the time away from home. When I told him that I personally reduced the number of SOL tests that he was going to have to take. So there's that. LGBT rights, it's not been a great environment in Richmond for that, particularly in the House. I did introduce some legislation to try and add sexual orientation and gender identity as a protected class under our fair housing and our state employment statutes. Didn't get very far with that. I think it's an effort that we need to continue to push forward. We got some help with the court, and I had to co-sponsor some bills to repeal Marshall-Newman. I think that although we won't get there through the legislature, I think the courts may help us get to a repeal of Marshall-Newman. When we get there, I'm going to use my expertise as a real estate attorney. I introduced a bill to allow same-sex married couples to own property as a married couple in Virginia. And the only objection I heard to that was, well, it might be unconstitutional under Virginia's Constitution. So hopefully next year or the year after, when our Constitution has been put in line with the U.S. Constitution, and that's no longer the law of the land here, we'll get that piece of legislation through. So those are really the only 2 things I think that nobody else talked about that I wanted to take a minute to say something about. And I really look forward to sitting and listening to your questions, because that's the main reason I'm here. So thank you very much.